Hello, good afternoon. Welcome back to another mini live. I'm sure you have all seen that today's topic is about our May Makeover challenge. So it is starting this Saturday. If you haven't already booked your place or purchased your program, please do. Now is the perfect time. And another reminder that everybody who has purchased any of our premium programs between now and the 14th of May, when our challenge starts, will receive free access to our pre-detox course. So this is normally $279, I believe. It's a very comprehensive, evidence-based, expert-designed course that will prepare you optimally for your detox. So you'll learn everything you need to know about how the human body detoxifies, our channels of detoxification, how to support those channels of detoxification in the lead up to your detox, so that once you actually start detoxing, you'll be able to have the best ability to eliminate toxins, to regenerate cells, to balance out your hormones, to reset your cravings, and also to drop weight. So definitely recommend anybody who has that available to them to jump onto it. You get 3 months worth of access, so make sure you do take advantage of it. It's a really, really not just comprehensive, but engaging. We spend a lot of time going back and forth with designers and learning design experts to make sure that it actually produces something that is tangible and applicable to your life. So make sure you jump into that. May Makeover challenge. We'll just quickly run through a little bit of information. So it is starting on Saturday. That means that your loading phase will start on Saturday. So loading is always 2 days worth. You eat as you please, as long as you have started your detox patches or drops. And actually, before I go any further, just a really quick reminder to make sure you have read your detox guide. And if you've read it once, read it again and read it again. Read it at least 2 to 3 times, 4, 5 even myself, not anymore, but for a long time, every time I would reread the guide, I would pick up something different that I hadn't noticed before. So definitely recommend reading it multiple times, grabbing out your highlighter, grabbing out a pen, taking advantage of all of the information in there. It will help you if you get to kind of any forks in the road where you're trying to decide what's the best food to be eating, or when does your food intake change, or how long you're supposed to be on each phase for. All of that information is in there, plus lots of extra tips and tricks. So make sure you read that multiple times. So this weekend will be loading phase 1, where you begin using your detox drops or patches and you eat as you please. So the purpose of this, first of all, is to let the ingredients of those drops and patches begin to work. So we'll get into a little bit later what exactly those detox drops and patches do. But basically, they have 3 main functions. One is to increase fat burning and obviously support weight loss. The second is to help balance out your hunger and cravings. And the third is to support channels of elimination and detoxification. So we have multiple channels of elimination within our body. The liver is a really big one. It helps to eliminate a lot of toxins through 2 phases of detoxification. Our gut is another, our lungs are another, our skin, our lymph are all examples of eliminatory organs or systems within the body. So there are ingredients in those drops and patches, natural, evidence-based, as well as traditional ingredients that help to support those processes. So when you begin wearing your detox drops and patches, the ingredients will begin to work while you're in your loading phase. Another point of loading phase, there really are no rules apart from be using your drops or patches. You actually can eat whatever you like. And some people will choose to do this, they'll eat similar to what they normally do. They might still eat reasonably clean, but maybe a slightly higher volume, or including, more nut butters or other fats or oils that are definitely healthy, just not the foods that you'd be eating during phase 2. As long as you're eating more than you will in phase 2 during your loading, that's totally fine. Another purpose of loading phase is to help clean out your pantry. So if you have any little snacks or anything in there that could potentially be tempting while you're on detox, it's a really nice time to clear it out, whether that means that you eat it or a family member eats it or you just get rid of it to somewhere else. Also to speed up metabolism. So during that period or those 2 days of potentially increased food intake, it will help to stimulate the metabolism, particularly while you're wearing your detox patches or taking your detox drops. And the other one is to top up your stored energy. So our glycogen stores our stored glucose. When we eat more, we're going to have a lot more of those storage energy. So that's another really big goal of the phase 1, is to make sure that you've got a bit more energy there that's sitting in reserves and then able to be used once you get into phase 2. And I also really quickly wanted to mention that often, or I won't say almost always, but often women will gain weight, and men, during phase 1. Sometimes people actually lose weight, and that's purely because the drops and the patches are already working if you haven't really changed your normal food intake. But people often will gain weight. A couple of reasons for that. If you have eaten more over that weekend, it's almost definitely not fat. We can't actually put substantial amounts of fat on in such a short period of time. So what it most likely is increased stores of our glucose, of our energy, that actually will add weight onto the scales, particularly because every molecule will attach to 2 or 3 water molecules. I can't remember. So you will also be increasing your water weight. Also, it could just be increased stools. So if you're eating more food and if your body, hasn't quite passed it all yet or hasn't quite processed it all yet, it will still be sitting within your digestive system waiting to be passed. So if you jump on the scales at the end of loading and you're wondering why the number might be a little bit higher, it's most likely or almost definitely one of those reasons. Do not be alarmed. The numbers will start to significantly drop once you get into phase 2. Okay, so phase 2, there are a few things to mention about phase 2. You will continue to use the same drops or the same patches that you were during phase 1. And so phase 2 is our detox and fat burning phase. This is where most of the magic happens. This is where the body's detoxification channels are starting to speed up and optimize. We're starting to burn increased amounts of stored fat. Cravings will start to reset, but it is important to note that people do still experience hunger. That's completely normal because you will be eating a more what's the right word? A more specific amount of energy and nutrients. So that will influence the way that your hunger hormones work. For some people, they don't feel hungry at all. The patches are working really well. They're still getting a really high nutritional intake because that's where the program's designed as a whole food base. If you do experience hunger, though, there is a lot you can do. I definitely recommend jumping on our support platform because we do have some answers on there for how to support your hunger. Okay, so phase 2. Your food is all specified in your detox guide. So again, make sure you read, reread, reread at least 2 to 3 times, if not 4 or 5. And make sure you always have your approved food list handy. You might want to leave your detox guide out in the kitchen or bring it in your handbag to work or wherever it is that you're planning your food. Make sure you have that approved food list with you and easy to reach, because there may be times, and we definitely recommend trying to be as prepared with your food as possible. It makes it so much easier, takes that decision fatigue out, takes the stress out of not having access to the food that you need. But if any time you're wondering, can I eat this, can't I eat this, what exactly do I need to be eating, it's all laid out in there. So make sure you refer back to it. Okay, and then I just wanted to mention a couple of little tips to keep you going. If or when you jump onto that pre-detox course, again, included for free for anyone who's purchasing a complete program before the start of the challenge. If you go through that program, it will give you everything that you need to completely set yourself up for success on detox. It'll talk you through your emotional health, your food that you can eat, how to support your liver during this phase. But in general, I would say that our biggest tip for making sure that you are ready for detox is to take advantage of all of the unlimited foods and the approved sweet and savory sources. So you'll find these lists in your approved food lists. They will make all of your food that much more desirable. You'll never feel like you're missing out. You'll always feel that sense of indulgence because your food will taste that much better. I do have some of them behind me. These are some of our seasonings. The packs of them, the jars, these jars are 50% off at the moment. Make sure you jump in quick though, because a lot of them are already selling out and they are delicious. They literally make everything taste better. I still use them frequently, like not on detox. Our teas as well, make sure you load up on the teas. You can drink as much tea as you like, as long as it doesn't have fruit in it. These don't. These are all detox approved. They're delicious. So I definitely recommend grabbing some of those as well. But if you don't want to purchase any additional products, you can absolutely go to the supermarket and find a heap of approved spices, seasonings, and then all of the sauces. Get as many as you can because you're going to want variety once you start your detox. When we all did an active detox as a team, I loaded up on the approved mayos and the light sweet chili. That was one of my favorites. The Marians, they're delicious. I still keep all of these in the fridge or pantry at all times, and they're my go-tos still. They're delicious. They make everything taste better. So definitely make sure you grab as many of those as you can find, even the sweet ones. The sugar-free maple syrup is so yummy, and the Avalanche powdered hot chocolate, the sugar-free ones, the ones in the tins only. So yum, definitely grab some of those as well. And yeah, you'll figure out as you go through your detox the best ways to use them. If you're in our Facebook group, our private Facebook group, you'll see lots of good examples coming through. So definitely recommend making sure you have those in your pantry and making the most of them. Okay, thanks for joining. Again, any questions, pop them below. Otherwise, I will shortly be posting some Instagram stories with a few more tips for preparing for your detox. Otherwise, if you want an extended version or a very, very comprehensive research-based version of tips for your detox, make sure you jump into our pre-detox course. Okay, have a lovely day. Thanks.